Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 6 of the Red Bull Project. Me, Ringo8781 Gaming. And we've got a bonus episode, Monday night bonus episode. Basically, I've been playing the save sort of on and off over the weekend and while I've been working. And this team is just something else, man. Like, I wish I'd recorded some of the games. If we click on the schedule when we last left off, we played, I believe, the friendly against Banach and then I went on and just played. And you can see since the start of the save of us playing, we've lost 2 games. We've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games and drawn 2. Unfortunately, we didn't do enough in the games when we lost to Salzburg and Tyrol. If we had beaten Tyrol, we would have been in the Champions group, which means that we could have been challenging for the title. Obviously, we wouldn't have done with it being Salzburg, but we are actually in the relegation group. You can see that as the Championship group, and you can look at that there. Tyrol, since starting in the relegation group, have hardly picked up any points. If we go to the relegation group, you'll see we have been absolutely flying. We're on 29 points. We're ahead of Ostseevien. We've beaten them once. We've beaten Rheindorf, Altach twice. We've beaten Wolfsberger. We've beaten Wacher Modeling, and we've beaten Klangfurt. We're basically the best of the rest. But the most interesting part of this is if I go onto the rules and click on the relegation group, you'll see that the first and the second play a European places playoff, depending on how these guys get on. If all these are different teams, say like Salzburg finish first and obviously get a Champions League place, we get to play a European game, which is mad. But we'll just go really quickly then. We're just going to delve into it. This is going to be the video I've been waiting for a little while, and it's going to be talking about key metrics, squad roles, whatever, etc., etc. Speaking of squad roles, one of the guys who is quite prevalent and quite supportive of my series. I'll leave a link to his blog about his save with Girona. It's a guy called Throwing Copper. That's his internet name. He done a very, very interesting article about the value roles or role values. And that's basically saying within your tactical setup, who do you see as like your most important player? Who do you see as like just the squad players? And who do you see as like, very disposable, blah, 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 blah. And he basically breaks it down in between, like, one of your strikers has to be perfect, one of your attacking midfielders, blah, 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 and works it that way. Plays a very similar system to what we've adopted here, actually, just looking at the face value of it. But it's very, very interesting. I think it's something that we're going to bring into this save, and we'll evaluate that going into the off-season and then subsequently into the next season, and we'll try and bring his vision to life. But yeah, it's gone very, very, very well. We last left you off in the transfer window, and transfer history, it was looking like this. We brought in Luca Reichel, Ale Benitez, Ransdorf, Yeboah, Konigsdorfer, and Jamie Lawrence, and we lost Petkovic, Chabi, Yannick Wolf, Platovic, etc., Ganada, and just a few players. And it's just been proven straight away. I went in, I had a little look, and it's like giving you a menu, and you already know what you want. And I had a little look at the menu that I was offered up coming into SV Ried, and it wasn't what I wanted. So we've completely changed it round. You may have noticed on the home screen, Luca Reichel, the boy, my absolute favourite striker so far, other than Dembele. I can't quite shout Reichel the way I'd shout Dembele in the West Ham save, but Luca Reichel is just something else. He just keeps getting better and better and better and better. I've just noticed his contract expires in 26 days. I'm going to try and lock him down for another loan deal. Yeah. I wonder if we do this, if we can... no, we can't. 235. Yeah, we're going to try and lock him down to another loan deal. Konigsdorfer, although is a good player, I'm going to go into the reasons why we probably won't go for him. Why is that not done there? Range 235. Anyway, yeah, we're going to bring Reichel in. He is on my favourite personnel. I am on his favourite personnel. He is just, he's just sensational. I mean, in his last, since he's come in, um, he scored and assisted in the first friendly he played, and then he scored one, didn't score for a few, and then he's just been banging them in, but putting in really consistent performances. This is when we're playing like Salzburg and Vienna and whatnot. He struggled a little bit, but he is still trying to adapt to the top league over in Austria. I feel like he's getting there. Very physical. He's great. We've kept just the one trait on shoots with power. I don't want to mess too much into his movements or whatnot because he is so young. He'll only sort of start like picking up what he likes to do and sort of watching him in game what he likes to do when he hits about 22, 23. And then by that time, that's when you want to start looking at doubling down and giving him some more traits. But yeah, if we look at it as a key metric, comparing him to his strike partner in Königsdorfer, you can see they both played similar minutes, 881. Reichels actually played less, but he scored a lot more from a lot less XG. Königsdorfer is actually underperforming, and I think it might be to do with the fact that he doesn't have any traits other than beating the offside trap. Attribute-wise, is fantastic. His composure is low. We are trying to train that, and you can see it has gone up slightly. I have tried, or I'm putting the development trait of going round the goalkeeper. I think because his composure is so low, but because he's so fast, he's got so much agility, really good dribbling, and good anticipation. I feel like he can just nick the ball past the goalkeeper, and that's what's going to get him some more goals. I'd love to have him back next season, but we've actually made a transfer from a team in the same league as us, who I think is probably going to be in the partnership up front with Reichel, and he will also play slightly deeper, which is one thing I noticed with the formation we're playing with the two up front. We never really had someone in that hole. And although, to be honest, Yeboah Königsdorfer could potentially do it, but because he's got the offside trap trait, probably not the best thing to do. But yeah, you'll see shots per 90. Shots on target per 90 is roughly the same. Reichel's outperforming on there. His shots per 90 isn't as high, but his XG, his goals, and his goals per 90 is higher. Pass completion isn't as good, but Königsdorfer is a lot more creative. I think Königsdorfer would actually be a really, really good shadow striker. He's got very good passing and vision as well. Potentially could bring him in and try and train him as that. But there's reasons behind why I don't want to do that. And we'll talk about them a little bit later on. See, key passes, though, Reichel's actually a lot higher. Key passes is 14. Key passes per 90, 1.5 compared to Königsdorfer making just under 1, although the assists is a lot higher and clear-cut chances is a lot higher. So they pivot quite well together. Luca Reichel is still just the golden boy. I love this guy to bits. We're probably never going to be able to get him back off Burnley after next season. He's probably going to be someone that we'd look to bring in when we're sort of at like Salzburg, hopefully, or Leipzig, or maybe even a different club to parallel it before we get there. It could even go a different direction. I was thinking about maybe if we don't get back to the Red Bull teams, maybe making our own sort of group. Obviously, you can't implement it as well in the game as you would be able to without the editor. But it might be something that we look to do where we try and get a team in the lower divisions to us, and we just send everyone we can there and see how that works. But yeah, I mean, he's great. He's absolutely fantastic. Burnley must be made up with his loan. I'm made up with his loan. He's fired us to safety. We've already beaten relegation, and we could even potentially sneak a European spot, which is just crazy. Other players then, Daniel Offenbacher, I actually did mention him on the last videos. He strikes me a lot like Jordan Henderson. That's exactly how he plays in game. He's not he's not the most creative. He's not the most talented, but he just does everything well. He's just so competent. I can depend on him so much. Since we've come in, 7.25 average rating, similar to the strikers, and then the back, some of the defenders, particularly Konstantin Reyna. He has signed a 1-year contract extension. Again, not the best in terms of his physical and technical attributes. His mental attributes are actually very good. He's just great. Physically, though, jumping reach, 19 and a height of 6.6 has definitely helped because obviously all know corners are overpowered. He scored 3 goals for us. but he's been a very good influence on Jamie Lawrence, who I would implore you all to go out and try and sign. If you're trying to build up, he's so good. I've had him in previous saves. And then Maximilian Hoffman, who will not sign a new deal. I'm a little bit disappointed at that. He's a very, very good defender in his own right, but you'll see he's not performed as well as Reina and Lawrence. Midfield wise, then, I mean, Stosic was the one that was highlighted as being one of our better players. I wouldn't be too disheartened if he was to go. But we are losing a lot of players. Moderna, Bajic looks like he's out the door. Chabi will be going, Vertnig, Brandiger, there's a few players going. We brought this guy in on a free transfer from Millwall. He was at Liverpool. It's Stefan Bietic. I think Millwall maybe let him go because he's got 9 aggression and that's not the Millwall way. But we've got him on trial until he signs permanently in July. More of a CDM to me. He tries long range passes and he brings the ball out of defence. He's definitely a deep line playmaker mould. It's just whether we can play him a lot. And I will probably give him a lot of game time. It's just his physical attributes need to come up more. But he's one that's going to come in. And then we've had our youth intake. Tino Phillip is one. All these guys here, we basically just need to get their personalities and determination up. But we've got Tino Phillip, who is a left midfielder. We've got Oliver Kane, who is a very good attacker midfielder, as well as Adrian Daniel, who do you think could be a shadow striker. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see. And then another goalkeeper in Simon Albertson. Again, fickle personality, but attribute-wise looks quite good. And the reason we seem to get a lot of attacking midfielders through our youth intakes and whatnot. And I say that because Lucas Beerwagen has played a lot of football for me, mainly off the bench, but he has started 4 games for me now. A very creative player who's sort of just finding his feet. If we click on his profile, he's been playing centre mid or as an enganche. I personally think he's better higher up the pitch. I don't want him in the centre of the pitch because his concentration and his tackling aren't very good. I'd rather he was a bit higher up than if he makes mistakes. It's not the end of the world. So what we tend to do is play him as like the attacker mid and drop on the strikers back. So we have one up front, one attacker mid, and then the rest of the team stays the same. So if he does make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. But a very, very competent young player and definitely one that we're looking forward to using. And here are some of the transfers coming in. We'll start off at the back. We're bringing in Will Dennis. Will Dennis is coming in as an emergency backup, nothing more. He's better than the players that we have as the emergency backup at the minute. One of them will be going on a free transfer. I can't remember his name for the life of me. I believe it's Guldbauer. But we did have a big injury to Shaheen Randigler, which is a shame because he's actually a brilliant goalkeeper. He torn his tendons in his knee and was out for, I want to say, maybe 12 weeks, roughly around 12 weeks. But Blazas Toth has been playing in his absence. And look at him. He is insane. He's very, very good. He's a Hungarian youth player. He's awesome. He's come in and done very well. The plan is that Blas Toth will go out on loan next season and be a number 1 somewhere. Shaheen Randigler will be our number 1. And then, obviously, we've got the transfer coming in. I've forgotten his name. I'm really sorry, Will. Will Dennis. He will be coming in again on a free transfer. Another free transfer bringing in is Tobias Akhtar. He is a 6'3" centre half joining us from aka Bergenland, who are a reserve team to who? They're an owl on here. To Jesus tonight. Oh my goodness gracious. Mate, we're through the looking hole here. Fucking UFC. Who are they at? Who to? No one, apparently. They are their own entity entirely. How strange. Anywho, he's coming in from them. You can see they're in the youth league. There's a lot of youth players populated from them. He was leaving on a free transfer, and I snapped him up. I think, again, he's got decent enough mental stats. He's very aggressive, good positioning. He's quite good in the air. He's got a good personality. quite strong, already got good tackling and technique. His marking and heading leave a bit to be desired, but he's only 18. I think he's a perfect free transfer. Arnel Jakubovic. Borough fans might remember him. He was there in their academy for a little while. Coming in on a free transfer from Austria Vienna. You can see he runs at the ball through the centre, tries killer balls often, and most importantly, he comes deep to get the ball. He's got good vision and decent passing. He's very fit. He's quite tall. He can finish. He's got a good, decent determination, really good decision making, good technique. I think he's probably going to be a perfect ploy for Luca Reichel. He will probably play as a deep lying forward. Could even potentially, again, play as like a shadow striker and a gancher and attacking midfielder, but more than likely a deep lying forward. I love that idea. Could even play a false nine, to be completely honest with you. Probably more suited to false nine, but I love the idea. It's saying like scout summary is a C. He might be okay, but I think he's a bit of a no-brainer on a free transfer for the player worth like 2-3 mil. Decent. And then last up, it was just a snip of a signing. We brought in, obviously we sorted a lot of our stuff out, you'll see here. We brought in a few scouts, and I believe it was Joe Monks. Again, a very, very good scout on this game, a lot of potential. Came in from Colchester, and I believe it was him who recommended them. Recommended this guy. He's going to be our starting defensive midfielder. He's got some mad attributes. It's Seja Araujo, and he's coming from Wanderers over in Uruguay. They in Uruguay? They are. They're in the Uruguayan Liga Professional de Premier. So they're in the top division in Uruguay. He's only 5'10", but he's got 19 heading. So if the ball does come in the air, he will challenge for it. He's quite aggressive. He's got good passing, good teamwork, good vision. He's got good everything, basically. £84,000 transfer. I think he's probably going to be worth at least a couple of million. His physicals are a bit but we can probably bypass that and get around it. But yeah, I'm buzzing with this. Deep lying playmaker on support in that defensive midfielder role. Again, can play any of like the defensive midfield positions, can play as a ball winner. He is an absolute jack of all trades, this lad. £84,000. It's an absolute steal. I am absolutely buzzing with that. So that's the state of the team and sort of the idea that we've had behind the transfers. Probably going to be a few more going into next season. We'll more than likely try and get Benitez back as well. He's only young. He's playing in Gladbach's reserve team. He's a good player. He's just so competent again. When's his contract up with Gladbach? 2025. Could potentially get him in on another loan deal and then try and snap him up on a free transfer. And then you've got a 24-year-old right wing back who can cover a plethora of positions. Who's very competent at this level. Again, seems like a bit of a no-brainer. Yeah, very happy with the state of it. And today I'm hoping to show you guys a bit of a live com against Admiral Wacker Merding to show you how good we are. I'm saying that now, we'll probably get battered, but I'll see you when we get into the game. And you'll be able to see here with games coming thick and fast. I believe I've got 3 games in the space of just over a week and a half. The 7th, the 18th, and the 25th. They're asking us to do a lot of changes. I'm going to accept it for now. And we're just going to have a little look and sort of speak about what we think needs to happen. Wiesemeyer, when he has played, he's just not good enough. Shaheen Randigler has to start playing again. That's fine. I'm happy with that. The defence will never change. It will always be Lawrence, Hoffman and Reiner, although Lawrence goes as the cover because he's a lot quicker and a lot taller. Lubajic is fine. Seevald is injured again. That's one thing I think we need to look at. He is a very good player, but he's quite injury prone, despite being quite young, and it's really concerning. So Bajic is the only natural option, although he is a right midfielder. He can play on the left. He's sort of the only option other than Lucas Prokop, who was another right-footed left-sided player, but Bajic is a little bit better. Offenbacher as the DLP on support is fine. It's Bierwagen as an attacking central midfielder that I'm not entirely sure with. I think we might just stick with Stosic playing there, and I might change his roll-up. He is playing as a central midfield on attack, at the minute. But I might play him as a box to box midfielder and see how he gets on with that, because he doesn't 6.8. He's like the most average player he could potentially be. I'm going to play him as that. The problems with taking over a relegation threatened team. Ali Benitez is going to play as well. I think there's enough time between the games that we can have a little bit of a rest and not have to worry about injuries and whatnot. I mean, yeah, it's well over a week, so I think we can risk them for this game. Just really quickly, it's something I didn't pick up on in the last video. You'll see we actually brought in Dominic Thalhammer, who was the manager of Austria Vienna and LASK. This season, LASK 2021, I believe, was the season that they were playing in the Europa League, and I think they beat Man United off the top of my head. But we got him in as assistant manager. Very, very good. Very happy. We have got a very good core staff set up now, including some performance analysts, which we managed to prize over from Leifering, not limited to Dr. Stefan Owerson. He came over, very, very good. And I believe it was Stefan Conrad? Yeah, the young guy, Stefan Conrad, again, coming over from Leifering. Happy days. Speaking of Leifering, I think a lot of you would probably be interested to see how they're getting on. And I am happy to report that they are doing absolutely horrendously. They sold a lot of players. If we look at their transfer history, it is ridiculous. So they got rid of Lucho for 650k. I mean, just looking at his value there, that is ridiculous. They got rid of Samuel Major on a free. Forsen went over to Paderborn. I was gutted about that. I did try and get him, but he'd already gone. Samson Tiani, £1 million to Dusseldorf. Steichgal, who went to Rheindorf, again, 500k, and Klitschnich, and they've literally not brought anybody else in. Where you can see, with last season we were there, a lot of players coming in. We signed a lot of these guys like Revelant, Stevic, Kakoas. They've just capitulated, to be honest with you. Here we go then, all the pre-match goodies against Wacker Mödling. Want us to defend more with, that's fine. They want us to keep an eye on Bajic. Then we're going to press Babascu and Gucha. The last time we played, is Lawrence fit? Is he able to play? Yeah, he's just a bit unwell. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think we're going to try and press them wider, like it said. They got a lot of joy against us in the last time we played them. It did finish 0-0, but yeah, they got a lot of joy going down the flanks. So I think pressing them wider is probably the best thing to do. They've taken to this tactic. They've taken to everything like a duck to water. Again, I'm saying all this now. I know we're going to get battered in this game now. It is the most sod sort of thing ever. But yeah, they've just taken to it. They've started playing really well. We scored some great goals in the past couple of matches. I'm hoping there's going to be a few more in this game, and I'm hoping that they can continue that momentum into last season. Here we go then, as Königsdorfer gets us underway. I think if this part of the save, this part of the journey, had started off poorly and faltered miserably, I think the save would have been over. So I'm so glad it started off as it did. Oh my God. It's because I've been talking us up. It's all it is. But yeah, I'm glad it's gone the way it has so far. It was a make or break decision to hold out for a top division team. I think we probably picked the right one. Probably landed on our feet a little bit, because I thought it's only a very small squad. The core of the squad was actually very good, and we've not had to do much to it. So he was just knocking it around nicely. We do try and play at a higher tempo. We don't necessarily try and retain the possession, but we do like building from the back. As we look long for Luca. Oh, he's at the post. Oh. And you're just seeing it there. It's just patient build-up play. Offenbacher with the corner. headed away. Yeah, it's patient build-up play. We do play it with a higher tempo, but we do allow people to sort of, move about, move freely up and down the pitch, which is fine by me. It's good football. It's actually quite a nice way of playing compared to what we used to play, which was hit it and hope. And Rheindorf have taken the lead against Wolfsberger. They are absolutely flying in the minute. They're pushing themselves away from that relegation spot. Build again now. Offenbacher goes backwards to Lawrence. Stosic to Benitez. Through to Stosic. Can he do with it? Hangs it up for Konigsdorfer. Oh. And he's not the biggest and he's not got the best jumping reach, but he has got 16 heading. So he does tend to put a high percentage of his headers on target. Don't think he's actually scored on for us yet, though. Ryan now to Reichel. Ryan to Lawrence. I found the wide centre-back on defend is very true to life. Let's say Reichel. Oh, it's very true to life. They do push further up. I think that the wing-back defend actual description does say it's like the modern version of the wide player in a centre-back. In a back three, I should say. It is definitely true. It's a lot more realistic than you see some people using it on attack, which was obviously meant to replicate the whole Sheffield United thing. But people are putting like Mo Salah there, scoring like 40 goals a season from wide centre back. It's definitely more realistic. It's probably something you should check out. There's Lukacevic, the Basco. There's a chance on. Oh, Radliger. He's got to be careful, Radliger, because he was out for so long. It's just going to be rusty. What's he going to decide to do here? As he pumps it long for Luca Reichel. Offenbacher. Reichel. Offenbacher slips it through for Konigsdorf. He was offside. We're just closing out the game for the half, which is a bit worrying that they've got the highlight, but they've slipped it through to Benke. You squared it across. Yeah, that was happening all day long, wasn't it? Too easy. Not enough aggression in the tackle from Stosic for a start. And then Benke's just got an easy ball across the box. Got to hope we don't go on to concede another before half time. Benitez now. Looking for Konigsdorf. It's cleared away. Stosic. Reichel. I thought that was going to fall back to him then. It never is. They clear it long. Jamie Lawrence has to deal with it and does. That is a great ball. It's Konigsdorfer! Get in! Offenbacher, he's just like the Austrian Jordan Henderson at this point. Lovely build-up play. This ball, that is tremendous. And again, Konigsdorfer, that's kind of what I want him to do, just go slightly around the goalkeeper. He was snatching at a lot of chances, so that's what we're trying to train him to do. So a change at half-time then. A couple of changes actually. We're going to change Stosic back up to a centre mid attack. We're going to bring Ljubic in as a cover centre half and bring Brandliger on as the defensive midfielder. I think we can afford to give Reichel or Konigsdorfer another 10-15 minutes or so. And if it's not going the way that we want, we can bring Beermeister. Beerwagen. We do have Beermeister as well, who's a youth player that we started playing a few games. We've got a free kick from deep. He's at the bar. Oh! Offenbacher. I think that might be the first free kick I've actually seen this team take. And at the 12 plus games we managed them, though. Stosic is knackered. I'm gonna be a bit bold here, because I feel like the game is there for the taking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change Stosic to an attacker mid. Offenbacher can play as the deep line playmaker on defend. He's just going to sit there. And we're going to bring Beerwagen in as the Ganch on support. I'm going to leave that at that. Let's go positive. Play a little bit wider. Let's see if we can just get at them a little bit more, because I feel like they are there for the taking. Free kick now as Brugger knocks it long. We win it back. Here's Reiner. Jovic. Offenbacher. It's control possession and a nice ball over the top to Reichel. Pulls it back. 1-2. Lovely 1-2 again. I don't really trust him in the air. It's weird because he's got such a good heading stat. Or attribute, I should say. It's so strange. He's just not very good in the air for somebody who should be good in the air. I'm going to change it up again, actually. Do you know what? Sod it. I'm gonna go. We spoke about this earlier. About Königsdorfer can play as a shadow striker. I'm going to play that. We're going to try that out. The potted plant, not the Christmas tree. Do we have a free kick? Here's Benitez. Hoffman. Bajic. Reina to Bajic. Behevagen. Reina. Hoffman knocking it around quite well. Benitez using his pace. Getting it in. Königsdorfer. Oof. You got off for that one. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think we've got one sub left to make. Do we make it? There's a lot of tired legs. I think we bring Prokop on just to end the game out. Bajic is struggling. I mean, all the defence are struggling really, but Bajic out of position is not playing particularly well, so I'm happy with that. Probably just going to run out. Hopefully, not going to run out of steam and become the losers of this match as Luca Reichel gets it away. Oh, Radlinger. It's a good save from him. They're just starting to crank the pressure up now. Nah, he was never putting that on target. No emotion there. Yeah, you can see they're just getting a hand of it. It's a bit more of a hang of the game in midfield, but not really creating a quality of chance like we've made. We've just not made the most of them, which is very disappointing. So they come forward once more. Good defending. We get it forward quickly, and there's 3 men forward. There's a lot of good football. Oh, Königsdorfer gives it away. And we go long again, where Reichel doesn't win it. Königsdorfer does. It's getting a bit frantic. Königsdorfer. Reichel, that's not the right pass. That is, though, Benitez. What can you do with it, son? Offenbacher. Behevagen! It's his first goal. Lucas Behevagen with his first goal for Ried. The potted plant has fucking worked. Oh, Offenbacher with the assist? Yes. Gets it in there. Behevagen, 3 men in the middle. Ooh. The result which will put us 10 points clear at Vienne. If we hold on, good block by Reiner. Because, yeah, Austria Vienne are 1-0 down to bottom of the table. Madness. 10 points clear at the top. And that, Benitez. Surely just a closing out highlight. Oh, Königsdorfer. I mean, even if it is a closing out highlight, that is shocking. Osterzelek. Play it long. Good covering. Behevagen. Offenbacher. Brandoner. Oh, look at this to end the game. Game management right there. That is game management. Professional job. I am very happy with that. And with that, we have qualified for the European Places playoff of the Bundesliga. What a turnaround this has been for this team. This is just insane. I just don't understand. I mean, how they were so just like rock bottom. They were garbage when we took over, and we've only really brought in 3 players. But we've just changed the tactic up, and that's it. It's mad. That might be a problem going into the European playoffs. I think that's probably a good place to leave it. There's no point in me playing the games against Wolfsberger and whatnot. We're already safe and we're already in the European playoffs. But we're good, you know. We're good. I've got a good feeling about this. I've got a really good feeling. If we get European football, oh my God, if we get European football, oh, just really quickly before I go, SV Ried will always have my heart as they are allowing me to study coaching badges. So by the end of, I believe, next season, I should have my Continental C. I think it's Continental C badges. You can see my attributes have already gone up slightly, especially like level discipline, people management, etc., etc. They're all starting to go up. Yeah, studying for National C, still a Sunday League footballer, but a minimal reputation. Love that. But anyway, thank you very much all for watching. I'm very, very glad that I had to do this Brucey bonus episode for you. And hopefully we'll see you all in the European playoff games. Thank you. See you now.